Hi everyone, Trina, and we're going to do Origins 7.3, and we are about through with all the phylums of the angels, and we went through all 9, and I have so much resonance with that information. I've always seen that light beings were on these rays of light, but these rays that were coming from these light beings, like they were coming like from right below the light of source thing. So like there's like, I guess you would call it the throne, and then I would see these beings around it, and I'd see these lights coming out of the source thing through these beings, and then the colors would come out through these beings. And each, like as I understood, each one of these beings was a ray, and that ray had attributes and personality and function. And this chart like explains like how the different layers of the angels have different function and they do different things. And I literally saw the rays of color coming out as sound and light, and then they started to hit the primordial soups, and then you started to see geometry and the plutonic solids and matter starting to form. So these were things that I had seen, and they're pretty hard to put into words. And I love the way that she breaks this stuff down. And not everything that I saw matches what she is saying, but was pretty darn close. So I think that's pretty profound. When you come up with the same things, when you never knew of them before, and then you see somebody who sees what you saw, it's such confirmation in your soul. It feels so good. It's like I do a happy dance every time I think about it, because it just feels so good to have confirmation with things that are, it's not like you can just go talk to a normal person. Hey, I saw this bright light in heaven and these rays came out and it hit matter, and people look at it and they think, what? So yeah, but when you contemplate and you ask these questions over and over your whole life, you know, my support system and the Lord was my primary guide. He has always been trying to explain things to me as I ask. And this wasn't like, you know, hey, what's up with this? I mean, sometimes it was. Most of the time, though, when I got profound insight, I was really asking with my heart. And I was like seriously saying, show me the truth, no matter what it looks like. I don't care what it looks like. Just show me the truth so I can understand the truth. Because I knew everything here was an illusion, and it was just a backwards mess. And for the longest time, I did not want to be here. And I remember in my 20s having a protocol, and I remember not wanting to come into my body. I was arguing with the Lord, so I did not want to come in. And I knew I had agreed to, but I did not want to. I was like, no, I think I'll pass. Thank you very much. But yeah, I got in because my mom prayed, because I was dying. I was born 7 months, or at my seventh month instead of 9 months. So I wonder sometimes too if that was why I came in with some of my memory. I wonder if the longer you're in the womb, the more amnesia gets put over the spirit. I really wonder that, because I was born in the 7th month instead of the 9th. So I always kind of wondered that. And because I was born early in the 70s, my lungs weren't developed and whatever. So back then, you know, they didn't let the moms stay with the babies. The babies were sent to the NICU and the ICU, and they were away, and the moms couldn't see them. So my mom couldn't see me for like, I think 2 or 3 days. So she was like starting to think I was dead, that they were lying, that I, you know, she really didn't have a baby. So she was really freaking out. And I did not want to stay in this body. And the Lord kept telling me no, and I kept bouncing out of it, and He kept telling me to go back, and I would get put back in it, and I'd jump out again. And my mom started praying. It was like she knew I was battling or something. Somehow, you know, that mother's instinct, she must have known. Because she started praying in that hospital, like super hard. And this spotlight came out of the earth, and I could see the light. And the Lord started laughing at me. He goes, you know what that is, right? And I was like, yeah, I knew. I don't know how I knew, but I knew what it was. I knew exactly what that was. I was like, that's my mom praying. And I knew what it was. I don't know how I knew this, but I definitely knew. And I was like, oh, shit. I knew. Like, oh, this is not good. This is not good. Because for whatever reason, I knew that he could grant her prayer. And I was like, oh, darn it. So I was super frustrated with that. But I knew. And when he started laughing at me, when that light came up and my mom was praying and he just looked at me and he laughed, he started shaking his head, I knew I was done for. So, and then in I went to the baby body, and I swear to you, it was like I heard a lock close on the top of my head, like a lock, like a door closed, and it was like the lock went, and it was like I couldn't get back out. I was like stuck in the body, and then it was lights out. But I wonder sometimes if that was part of the reason that I had some memory of before I was born, was because I didn't go through the full womb cycle. I always wonder that, and I have no way to validate that at all. It's just a gut feeling I have. So any of y'all who were born early that seem to have like memories of past stuff and maybe past life and stuff, if you have any of that, let me know in comments. I would love to see if there's any kind of a correlation to people that have memories of their spiritual existence if they were born prior to the full gestation of 9 months. Like I said, I was born in the 7th month. So, like I said, I thought that was something we might want to maybe pay attention to. So, we will get into the last part of the angels, and we're getting ready to go into the 6 stages of the soul's evolution, and that should be very interesting. So I can't wait to read that with you guys. So, but before we do that, let's do a quick run through of the angels and the orders of the angels that we've covered. The order of number 1. The number 1 is thrones. And a lot of angel books don't say the thrones is first. And I'm telling you, this makes so much sense because everything says before the throne of God, there are the angels that surround it. So wouldn't they be called the thrones because they surround the throne? Totally makes sense to me. I'm like, I know she's right. So the thrones are the spirits of love, the foundational sons. They are love, devotion, light, and sacrifice. Number 1, throne. Number 2, seraphim, spirits of sound. Singers, sound vibration, creation, and music. 3, cherubim, spirits of light. Painters, light transmutation and emanation. 4, dominions, spirits of wisdom. Go use your door, Zodiac. Guardians of knowledge, wisdom, the mysteries, vortex holders of nodal points on the dark matter. Wow. So they're the vortex holders of the nodal points of dark matter, the dominions, spirits of wisdom, and that is the 4th order. The 5th order are the virtues, spirits of movement, the weavers of light, sound, music, creativity, the weavers of the grid of dark matter of the universe. So 5, the virtues. The virtues are the spirits and the movement, and the makers of the dark matter of the grid of the dark matter of the universe. 6, powers, spirits of form. These are the builders, the manifestors of matter, structure, building, form, protection, and the plutonic solids. And that's funny because when you look at 6, you're looking at, let me show you. perfect man, circling the square, geometry. Interesting. So this is the 6. The builders, the manifestors of matter, structure, building form, protection, and the plutonic solids. Those are 6, the powers. 7, principalities, the spirits of seeding and time. These are the explorers. They seed the worlds, new horizons, pioneers, explorers, travelers, and mystics. 8, archangels, spirits of fire and magnetic field, the regulators of the magnetic field of space, protectors, warriors, healers, guardians, powerhouses, bridge builders. This is the power of the 8 archangels. 9, angels, spirits of life and service. Service, devotion to humanity, guardian angel spirits, spirit guides, love, creativity, inspiration, and healing. And that is the order of the 9, the angels. So we'll just do one more brief run through of them. We got thrones, seraphim, cherubim, dominion, virtues, powers, principalities, archangels, and then finally angels. And that's the 9th. Angel, the angel in everyone. Each of us begins our journey towards enlightenment in one of the orders of the angelic kingdom as companions of the divine. As angels, we layered ourselves with the gifts and the affinities of the divas. For a while, serving in the universal plan, in the celestial and elemental kingdoms. Eventually, we descended to the 5th dimension and acquired our subtle energy bodies that would allow us to finally enter the human kingdom. Then over the course of hundreds of lifetimes, whether on this planet or another, we are each destined to become a self-knowing, self-realized being. Through the duality of making choices that create either suffering or joy, we begin to discover how our beliefs, thoughts, and feelings help us to shape our reality and the reality that we experience in the world. Then, once our time in the 3rd dimension is complete, we will each return to the higher realms as self-aware masters. Once we finally, oh, my kids are home, it's going to get loud. So once we finally choose to return to these realms permanently, we will each have the chance to decide who we want to serve and the evolution of others from a place of far greater wisdom. Robert Sardello, a student of angelology and the author of The Angels, writes, "Some say that angels of the highest orders have passed through the human stage of evolution as regents of the soul realm. They understand the spiritual plan for humans. The esoteric traditions suggest that these lords of compassion, who have gone beyond humans in understanding, love, and power, help us through the abyss that seems to separate us from the divine. Perhaps without the aid of such angels, humans would never move beyond the idea of God as holy, other. These beings can help us to initiate. They help us into the mysteries of our own being, if we will and are willing to open ourselves up to them." And this is again, we must ask. While the vast majority of human beings living on earth today seem to have originated from the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th orders of angels, Over the course of thousands of soul readings, I have found souls from each of the 9 orders. While most of these people have never even considered their own angelic origins, it becomes clear over the course of these readings that the person's angelic origins is reflected in their daily lives as human beings. We go about raising families, running businesses, working in hospitals, schools, or libraries, and kindly helping others who we come into contact with. And while we are completely human, and while we are in mortal form, it is still very powerful to reflect on the deeper angelic aspect of ourselves. In these moments of quiet reflection, prayer, and stillness, we may even get a fleeting glimpse of the luminous being that lives within us. I want to close this chapter by taking a moment to simply imagine how exciting it was for the Creator to imbue His gifts of creativity and imagination on we humans, and how exciting that in our purest state of the Creator, it could watch us reflect back its own majestic light. How satisfying to fashion a being of virtuality, limitless potential, who has the power to learn, to grow, to evolve, each in its own unique way. These are the angels, and they are us. Imperfect though we are in our human forms, our essence is utterly pure. So just for a moment, allow yourself to truly connect with the thought that you are such a being of light. If knowing such a thing would allow you, even if just for an instant, to peer into the magnificence of yourself, would it not help set you free? If you truly woke up to the fact that you are an angelic being, temporarily stripped of your powers and your memory, a being who has taken a long, extended pilgrimage into an uncharted territory to have the adventure of a lifetime. Wouldn't it all start to make a little more sense? Like any good movie, we have constructed challenges and pitfalls, that which might test ourselves to the extreme. We have created various degrees of difficulty that will challenge us to move towards the light or take us further into forgetfulness. Take a moment to honor yourself for the courage it took to come here. I must agree with that. I didn't want to come. And to set up such a challenging course curriculum. Wow. In our next chapter, we will now discuss the many stages of our soul's journey. And may you discover for yourself just where you are in this grand unfolding. So we will pick up on the 6 stages of the soul's evolution very soon. I'm going to go say hi to my children and play with my puppies. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here with me. It means so much. Your comments mean so much to me. And your presence means more to me than you will ever know. So thank you for being here. And thank you for being part of my soul family. Because you guys truly are one of the closest things to my heart. So with that, much love and favor to you all. And I'll see you on the next one.